All right, guys. So over this past week, it was about a week ago at this point when you're listening to this. It depends on how you look at it. Maybe it could be jaw-dropping, game-changing, universe-shattering MCU news came out. Not even news, pictures, images. Because about a week ago, we got to see, allegedly, I'm going to say allegedly many times, concept art from Avengers Doomsday and likely Avengers Secret Wars as well. So here's the deal. I am not going to be using pictures. If you're watching the video format on YouTube, I'm not going to be using those images in this segment. Probably going to be using adjacent images of Hulk and Doctor Doom and Black Panther, whatever, because I don't know if they're real. I don't think anybody knows if they're really real. I think that's, we'll talk about that in just a second, but in case they are, these are very sensitive images. And so I don't want to get in trouble with anybody. So I'm not going to show these images. The thumbnail, again, will probably be something Doctor Doom adjacent. But if you want to go check out these images, they're all over the internet at this point. You can probably find them on Google Images. But again, I'm not going to probably show them on my YouTube channel. Anyways, so yes, a week ago or so, we got a report or a leak or whatever this was that a bunch of concept art images came out of Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. And in these images, there are many interesting things. For example, we get to see our first look at Doctor Doom. It's an incredible design. He looks so formidable. I don't think we get to see Robert Downey Jr.'s face, so I'm very curious to see, is he disfigured? Does he look exactly like Tony Stark? Are they going to change him up a little bit, And that's what I'm most curious about, but the armor looks great. We get to see Doctor Doom, in kind of a court situation with, I'm going to assume, multiversal variants of Yelena Belova, Doctor Strange, I think Sue Storm. And then we get to see other combinations like Star-Lord and White Vision. We get to see Star-Lord, Wong, and the Young Avengers. So it looks like Star-Lord's going to have a pretty big role in the upcoming Avengers movies. We also get to see what looks like a new Black Panther. I forget the actor, the first name, because everyone on the internet seems to, is saying, at the very least, and we don't know if this is true because we don't know what the concept artist's intent was, but it seems like they modeled this Black Panther, and it's not Chadwick Boseman, obviously. It's based on, and I forget his first name, but it's Idris, and no, not Idris Elba. That guy's first name is Idris. This guy's last name is Idris. I don't remember his first name, but people think that they're modeling this new Black Panther off of the guy, and again, we just don't know if the concept artist had that in mind. It seems likely, right? It's there's a resemblance. So there's that. We see a planet of Hulks. We see Jennifer Walters. We see Bruce Banner and probably Scar, but it could be multiversal variants of the three of them as well. What else do we see? We see, a lot of images of maybe Molecule Man, I think, was another one. So there's a lot of stuff that came out about this. Okay, here's the thing. Until we get any confirmation as to whether this is real or not, I don't think I can bring myself to get excited about this. And I'm going to go a step further. I think even if these are real concept images, I don't think they really do much for me. I think there are ways in which they get me excited insofar as it looks like they're making the movie. And that's a no-duh kind of thing. It's Avengers Doomsday. What I mean by that is that these Avengers films have been pretty plagued, right? Kang Dynasty goes to Doomsday, Robert Downey Jr. comes back. They've been in all sorts of limbo and all sorts of weird states of production. Russo brothers came back. So just, if these images are indeed real, then what that gets me excited for is that, okay, they're really heading in a direction that seems like they've got something mapped out. Let's go. Let's make these Avengers films. It looks like we're getting a lot of different characters involved, and it looks like they're handling it in such a way where if you didn't see She-Hulk, then you'll probably not even know who this actress is, Tatiana Maslany, but she'll be in the movie, and you'll kind of, it'll be a multiversal variant, so people will just be like, oh yeah, multiverse Hulks and stuff like that. But for those of us who watch the show and know the character, obviously it'll be more impactful. That kind of thing. That's great, especially the Young Avengers, right? Most of those are TV characters. We see Wiccan and Speed in there as well. So I think in that way, you can set it up to where the Russos are saying, well, look, if you didn't watch every single TV show, then you don't need to, and that's great. That's, again, if these images are real. And we don't know that. I don't know that. As of the recording this video, at least, I don't know that. But the reason that I just can't bring myself to get too excited about this is for one reason and one reason alone. It's concept art. And concept art is great in terms of giving you an idea, because concept artists for these MCU projects, for a lot of, Disney projects, for a lot of DC projects, just the big action-oriented projects, right? They hire professional artists and they make concept art, and they make a lot of concept art so that the directors can get a better idea of, oh, this is what it would look like. Wouldn't it be cool if, and et cetera, et cetera. But concept art, I don't know what the exact ratio is for most projects. I would guess it varies depending on how much production changes, depending on how much they want to use from the concept art, etc. But I would guess that a really significant portion of the concept art never gets executed. In fact, it's not even that it doesn't get executed on the big screen, it's that it gets changed entirely. I mean, there were concept art, leaks of Iron Man with a Doctor Strange cloak and Doctor Strange with Iron Man armor. And that was going to be part of Infinity War at one point. Did it happen? No, absolutely not. In fact, I think it even made it to toy leaks, right? And that never happened. Of course, we can't forget about Captain America Brave New World. There were leaks of the leader design in concept art, and I think that was official concept art. Did that ever happen? No, he looked completely different in Captain America Brave New World, right? On the one hand, yes, it's exciting that we're, if it's real, it's exciting to see, okay, Doctor Doom looks really good. How they execute that in live action, by the way, is a completely different thing. You can make anything look really good in art form, but executing that in quote unquote real life, it's a tall task. So I think that, at the end of the day, how much can we glean from this? I don't know. I mean, the Star-Lord White Vision pairing was certainly not anything that had been remotely close to the top of my mind ever at any point. So, now that I see it, I go, okay, that could be kind of interesting. Paul Bettany, Chris Pratt seem like they would have good chemistry, depending on White Vision kind of being the guy who doesn't take jokes and Star-Lord just joking around. I think that could be a very interesting pairing. But again, I need to see some plot details. I need to see a trailer before I start to go, okay, we're getting there. And even then, we know that MCU trailers can be deceptive and whatnot. So I think concept art is cool, right? And at the end of the day, if it does happen to be in the movie, we can look back on it and go, wow, really, that's really awesome. And, there were concept images of the Guardians and Avengers and Infinity War and Endgame and whatnot. So again, when you look back on it and if this all comes to pass, great, that's awesome. At this point in the game, I don't know how much I can buy it and how much I believe in it. So I'm still in wait and see mode. The movie hasn't even filmed it. It's concept art. So again, any number of these things in these pictures could be real in the movie, regardless of if this concept art is actually legitimate. And it could all be, thrown out. Multiversal, Black Panther, and all that, who knows? Who knows? So anyways, guys, have you seen these concept art images, and do you think that they're actually a part of the movie? Let me know in the comments down below.